Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We got a bunch of callers on hold already this evening, and so we'll get to them in just a minute. But I wanted to mention that I'm going to do another session of angelic attendant training, and it's going to start July 13th. And so any of you that are interested in learning how to do woo-woo like I do it, I encourage you to check it out. And you can check it out on my website, askjulieryan.com. What you'll be able to do by the time you're done, it's 4 weeks, it's online, it's live online though. We all can see each other. We're in a virtual classroom. And when you're finished with 4 weeks, 2 hours each Saturday, 4 Saturdays in a row, you will be able to communicate with spirit, both alive and deceased. You'll be able to do some healings, at least the beginning of them, and then you can advance from there, but it'll at least be a start on the things like I do, like on people and on pets. And hi, Mike. I see you've joined us. I'm going to mute you, and I'll come back to you. Nancy, same with you. Welcome. And so you'll be able to do that, but you also are going to be able to take this in any direction you want. You know how I'm a buffet of psychicness. I say I learned how to do woo-woo, and I'm a buffet of psychicness. Well, when you get transferred the energy at the level that I play in, you're going to have the capability to take this wherever you want and do whatever you want with it. So give that some thought. The class is limited to 12. It's more than half full already, and I haven't even started promoting it yet. So I'm starting that tonight. And if you're interested in this, askjulieryan.com, click the training tab, and you'll learn some more about it. The other thing I can tell you is of everybody that's taken the class so far, the one thing in common that they all report to me is that they live a life of joy now that they didn't even think was reachable. I had one person say to me, the joy that I feel on a daily basis was unimaginable to me before. And that's the consistent thing that I hear over and over again from everybody, is that their life is more joyful, the abundance is flowing in, they're able to really help figure out what they want to do with their lives. Some of them are looking for soulmates. They're finding them. I mean, it's really magical, this stuff that's unfolding for them. So just wanted you to know about it. If you have any questions, email me, julie@askjulieryan.com. But check out Angelic Attendant Training, and we'd love to have you join us. All right, let's see who's with us tonight, and we'll go to the phones and see who we've got on first. Okay, I think it's my twin. I think it's Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
Good.
Are we Siamese twins separated at birth or something?
I think so. Yes. Because everything you're doing, I'm like so fascinated.
Yeah. Well,
and
terrific.
I am going to take the class.
I'm very excited to have you. It's going to be it's a blast too, Julie. It's just so much fun. And the people that are in the class, they all really bond. In the other 2 classes, I just started doing this the first of the year. They all talk to each other, and they communicate with each other via email, and we have a private Facebook group for everybody that's either has taken the class or is currently in the class. And so we all learn from each other. So it's not just going to be the people that are in your session, but also everybody that's taken the class so far, which makes it really fun too.
And I'm so excited. But
me too.
I have a session scheduled with you, so that's even better.
That's right. That will be a blast too.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was telling somebody today I was doing a medical scan, and she had some serious things going on, and I said, this will go very fast, you'll see, and it'll be fun too. And after we were done, she said, when you told me that, I thought, how could this be fun? I got all this serious stuff going on. And she said, it was so much fun. And I said, yeah, everything can be healed, so why not have fun doing it? Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Well, tell everybody where you're calling from, please.
Hi, I'm Julie, and I'm calling from Las Vegas.
Okay. All right.
So
well, you got a question for me?
I do. Well, of course, my question is my Aunt Terry, who has the liver cancer, and she had said she wanted to. She was going to be on here, but she's really weak. She's not doing well.
Oh.
And so basically, I guess I'm calling to see if there's anything that we could do. She was going because they had said she was going to try to call in, and although she's really too weak to talk, they were going to see if there's anything. So I guess my question is there anything that we can do at this point?
And tell everybody what's going on with her. She had liver cancer, but she was in the hospital recently because her kidneys were shutting down, right?
Yeah, her kidneys were shutting down. Now, her kidneys were doing better, but she's just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And so that would be my question.
Okay.
Is there anything we can do at this point to help her?
And she's in Minneapolis or Wisconsin. Where is she, Julie?
She's in Bemidji.
Which is Minnesota?
In Minnesota, yeah. But, I mean, when she came out of the hospital, they said, okay, you have 2 weeks. And, sometimes that is, and it was, I think, 2 weeks today or so. So, I mean, that is like, did that cement it? I don't know.
No, it didn't. So what I did was I connected to you energetically. I closed my eyes. I raised my vibrational level to the level of spirit, Julie, because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when we're attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly just because the body has mass. So I watched a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama, hooked into you in Vegas, and then shot up northeast and hooked into your Aunt Terry in Minnesota. She is not in any of the phases of transition. She is not dying at the moment. She is not dying. Yeah.
And that's what I told them. I said, well, the thing of it is yes, if she didn't hear something positive, because before when I told her, I said, when I talked to Julie, she said, you are in no stage of dying. You know what? I mean, she perked up 50%. I mean, it was like amazing at hearing you tell her that would do to her. So perfect.
Well, and what we're talking about, everybody, is 12 phases of transition that everybody goes through as we're dying, and it's how we're surrounded by our deceased loved ones and angels and our deceased pets, spirits. And it's really a glorious scene. And as the person approaches death, that configuration changes. And the graphics of that are on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, so you can go on and you can look at them. And obviously that's what my book's about. They're in the book as well. But she is not dying at the moment. I'm got her on my radar. I'm going to look at her really fast. I've done a private consult because of you with her.
Yes.
And I think last week we generated new kidneys for her, didn't we?
That was the week before. You worked on her kidneys, and her kidneys are performing much better.
They're doing better.
I guess my question is the cancer in the liver is because I think that's the biggest problem right now.
All right. So what I'm watching is a healing on her right now, Julie. And whenever I see cancer, I see it get contained in a membrane, almost like if you put spoiled meat or something in a plastic bag and then you removed it. And so that's what I just watched happen, and I'm watching a new liver get generated from stem cell energy. And stem cell energy looks like gel that's kind of a light amber colored, and it has sparkles in it, and then there's a centrifuge that happens on top of it. And this is the coolest stuff because it will regenerate whatever body parts we need, whether it's brain matter or whole organs like in this case, or bone or whatever. I worked on a woman this afternoon on a private session, and she had osteopenia, so we just dipped her whole skeletal system in stem cell energy and got new bone in those places where it was kind of thin. And so I'm watching that generate. All right, now I'm watching the plumbing get hooked up. Like if you were installing a new garbage disposal or something.
But that's what you need. So
yeah, I'm watching that. Okay, I just shot some energy into her. She looks wilted, so get her caregivers to be really cognizant of nutrition with her. Give her organic, give her fruits, vegetables, as much as they can that's organic, and be sure that she's on a high fat content of organic stuff, organic olive oil, grass-fed butter, organic refined coconut oil, stuff like that, because that's going to help her cells replicate. So I hope that helps. Keep us posted on how she's doing.
Does. Well, thank you so much, Julie. She has an appointment on the 13th, but I have one on the 1st, and if she is not doing better, I'll switch with her. So
okay. All right. Terrific. You are a model niece, girl. You've been so good to her. I know you love her a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I just think out of the box. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in. Take care.
And thank you, Julie. I'm going to hang up because I'm going to call them. So.
All righty. Take care. Give her my love. Okay.
I will.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
All righty. Let's see who's next. I believe it's Meg. Hi, Meg.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I am calling from Redmond, Washington, which is right outside of Seattle.
Yeah. Beautiful part of the country. How are things up there? I'm sure they're gorgeous.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Had our rain and had our sunshine, and in the 60s, so we're happy.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. I've always had a complicated relationship with food, and I've been working to heal that and, find the root, and I feel like I've made so much progress. But recently I've started binge eating again. And I know physical things can make it trigger, and I know subconscious things can make it trigger, but I'm just really struggling with it. And I was wondering if you could maybe locate the cause for me, help me. Maybe I'm missing it because I thought I was addressing it, or if there's anything you could do to help me release that instinct to binge, or that urge to binge.
Absolutely. So I'm going to get you on my radar, Meg. And here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, out to Washington. All right, got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. And you look like a hologram in my mind's eye. Hi, Sadie. I'm going to put you on mute, and I'll come back to you. Welcome. I heard somebody. I thought somebody else had jumped in here. And so when I get a hologram of somebody in my mind's eye, Meg, then I shoot energy from their feet up through the top of their head, and it's as if I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an MRI. And so that's the hologram that is you, kind of like Beam Me Up, Scotty from Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's what's in my mind's eye. All right. So the energy went to your brain first. There's a disconnect in people that have addictions, whether it be drugs or food or whatever, and I'm rewiring this. There's a gene. It's called the RDR2 gene. Look that up online, okay. RDR2. How I remember it is it sounds like R2-D2 to me. That's how I remember it, from Star Wars. And I have this. I am a sugar addict. I cannot eat one cookie. If there's a plate of cookies in front of me, I'll eat all the cookies on the plate and look for more. And it's like I go into a trance. And I think, oh, my God, what did I just eat? So I just had to avoid sugar because sugar was my addiction thing. And I've been off of it for a year. I mean, I just do not eat it. So that's number one. It's like there's a disconnect. But then the other thing that's really helped me, Meg, is to dramatically increase my fat content. What I was just telling Julie for her Aunt Terry, if you can go to refined coconut oil, I really like the bulletproof brain octane oil. That's my favorite. It's clear. It doesn't have any flavor. I use it as salad dressing. That's been a godsend to keep me off sugar. It's been just night and day remarkable. Number one, olive oil. Make sure this stuff's organic. Grass-fed butter. The good fats. Do that.
Yeah.
Be sure you've got a lot of good fat in whatever you're eating. And if you can up your good fats, it's going to make a dramatic difference in what you're craving. What are you craving?
It's not even craving. It's just anything.
Okay.
So it hasn't been a specific craving. It's just been like this automatic eating.
So is there something in particular that you like to eat when you automatic eat? Is it sweets? Is it cookies? Is it chips? Is it fruit?
It's probably sweets. Yeah, it's sweets and chips.
Okay. All right. So chips they're gonna absorb like sweets because they don't have to be processed. They're refined. So if you can stick with, if God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, avoid it. Get it out of your house. Get it out of your house.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to get in a car and go, to the bakery just because you want to eat. But keep stuff in your house that you can binge on. You're not going to binge on, 5 bowls of broccoli or 15 apples or something like that. So that's a big part of it. The other thing is email me, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com. I'm going to send you a link for a gut biome test, half off. Anybody listening that wants it, email me, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com. I'll send you a link. It's for 50% off. It's going to test what's going on in your gut, and a lot of that binge eating comes from what the ecosystem is in your gut. And this test is going to show you these are the foods for you to eat so you have a robust immune system, and it's going to help a lot with the cravings. That's helped me a lot too. So email me that. So increase your good fats, get that stuff out of the house, have healthy stuff in the house, do this poop test that I'm going to send you the link. Okay?
I will.
Sorry
Thank you so much.
But, that's what it is. Okay. Thanks for calling, Meg.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see who's next. I believe it's Rob. Hi, Rob.
That's great. I'm just parking. That's awesome.
Oh, perfect. You think maybe I'm psychic or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. So welcome. Where are you calling us from? Where are you parking?
Near Middletown, Virginia.
Oh, beautiful country.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well, welcome. Got a question for me?
Yeah, well, you had a private session with my wife, Julie, on Monday.
Yeah.
It's funny, you don't know what to expect or how it's going to flow. So I think she's probably going to want another one at some point, and I want to do that with both of us. But one of the things I feel like has changed is how she feels about our relationship, and it's not like she's coming out overtly to say, I want to make this work. But, for the last 2 or 3 years, she's been talking about getting out on her own and everything, and this is the first time I've felt like, she's actually open to working things out, So it's really awesome. So I wanted to ask a question about that. I wanted to ask a question in with a desire to heal our relationship and so forth, and make it the best it can be. What there may be in the past, either in our present relationship or previous relationships, that may have an influence, maybe a negative influence on our relationship today and whatever challenges we're dealing with. So does that sound clear enough or something to ask?
It does, but why do we want to focus on the negative? Let's focus on the positive. What's going to help reinforce your relationship and let you guys heal it and go forward?
Right. That sounds absolutely great. You're the intuitive, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've heard you do something where you went back in someone's past and kind of removed it from their influence on their life or something like that. So any way it goes, I'm just looking for the healing,
Well, I think the bottom line, Rob, is when we look at the things that we like and love about somebody,
right,
then we learn to appreciate them, and it raises our vibrational level. And then that brings in more. We live in an attractive universe. So whatever we're thinking is what's going to pull in more thoughts. It's kind of like our heads are big satellite dishes, and and depending on what channel we're on, it's going to pull in. Like if you just parked, you're in your car. If you got the station that's the jazz station on, you're pulling in jazz music on that frequency of the radio. If you, say you've got Sirius, or even on regular radio stations, if you change it to the disco station, that's going to play disco music. And it's the same thing with our thoughts. When we're thinking negative thoughts, we get in this loop. It's like a hamster wheel, but we're vibrating at a low level. And so how I always tell people to get out of it and teach people how to get out of it is go to curiosity. How
and
what is the limiting belief here? There's two kinds of fear. There's fear that's going to kill you in the next couple of minutes, and then every other fear that's not going to kill you is false. It's a limiting belief. It's false, like fake news. So what you want to do is when you have a negative thought, that's your spirit slapping you upside the head and going, hey, you need to look at this from a different perspective. And then when you do that and you say, okay, Julie, your wife Julie's driving me nuts because she won't push the chair in and when she gets up from the table or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
just using that as an example. So you look at that and you say, well, is that going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? And you're going to burst out laughing every time.
Yeah.
When you laugh, because you've gone to curiosity, it raises your vibrational level. And then then you're on a different frequency where you're pulling in things that you appreciate about her.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just kind of a quick overview. I teach a lot of this in my classes, which is why people are so joyful, when they get these techniques. But basically, you form a new habit. When you have a negative thought, remember, that's my spirit telling me to look at this from a different perspective. And is this going to kill me? If I'm standing in line longer than normal, or I'm in traffic, or and you're 9 times out of 10, you're going to laugh and you're going to say to yourself, this is crazy. And then you're immediately at a higher vibration. You're immediately going to feel better. You're immediately going to pull in better thoughts. That's going to snowball. It's going to help your relationship, and it works with every aspect of your life.
Right.
So that's my suggestion.
That's my part to play. Yeah.
That's your part, my man. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm thrilled that she's wanting to play now.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I don't want to make it bigger than it is, but there's definitely a change there. So.
Fabulous. And that's in what, 3 days? I talked to her on Monday or Tuesday.
It was like the next day she started talking differently, and now, it's like she's kind of put me on notice. There's a lot of things we have to work on, all this stuff. And I was like, wow, this is something. Yeah.
Yeah. Big ship. Different perspective. Yeah. Look at it from a different perspective. It feels better. When it feels good, you're on the right path. You know that you're in alignment with your spirit's path. When it feels crappy, that's when your spirit's going, hey, you need to change your perspective on this. Look at this from a different perspective. And it's just that simple. Is it going to kill me? Most things aren't, hopefully. Okay. All right, Rob. Well, thanks so much for calling in. Enjoy your evening.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Oh, funny. Okay, let's go to Mike next. Hi, Mike. Mike, are you there?
Did you say Mike?
Mike, yeah. Hi.
Oh, Mike. I'm always surprised.
How are you, sir?
But I was hoping I could get my sister to call in for the past couple of weeks because about her physical problems. She had a huge, I don't know what you call it now. Forget. Like 100-pound cyst or something that had been removed from her, and she's still recovering from that. I was just hoping she would call in, and that's why I was calling in and listening.
Okay. Did you have a question for me? You want to ask a question about her? What's your sister's name?
Dee.
Dee. Oh, well, she's next. You want me to just put you on hold, or did you have a question you wanted to ask?
Okay, great.
Did you have a question you wanted to ask? You just want me to put you back on mute and you can listen in?
Yeah, I'll just listen in.
Okay. Where are you calling us from?
Me?
Where are you, Mike? Yeah, where are you?
I'm in Norfolk.
Oh, terrific. Okay. 2 Virginia men, back to back. How about that? Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm going to put you back on mute, and I will go to Dee. She is next on my list. So, Dee, I'm coming for you. Thanks, Mike. Nice to chat with you. Okay. Dee, here I come. All right, Miss Dee.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, girl. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Surprised to hear that my brother called in.
Well, does that change what you want to ask?
That's a family affair, I guess.
Oh, good. Are you in Norfolk as well?
No, I'm in the Montgomery County, Maryland, in the Washington, D.C. area. But we're from Norfolk originally.
Oh, wonderful. Well, terrific. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. Got a question for me?
Yeah, and this is my first time ever doing this, so please bear with me.
Sure.
Like my brother mentioned, I've had a major health problems, and I have a whole host of them. I had like a rare form of a rare illness, and it consisted of an 8-hour surgery that nobody thought I was going to survive, but I did because God told me I was going to survive. That's a whole other story. But I still not fully recuperated, and I've got a lot of different things going on that I need help in figuring out. My lymphatic system is not working right, so the lymph nodes are backed up, so it's like lymphedema. And my blood sugars are way up. I'm trying to see if maybe that's a side effect from a medicine. My immune system is bad. My ENT problems. I'm trying to see if you can scan and get any feeling of what's going on and what I can do better.
Sure, absolutely. I will be delighted to. And I'm going to get you on my radar, as you've heard. With some of our other callers, I close my eyes and I'm watching a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham. Going to hook into you in the D.C. area. Got you. I got a hologram of you in my mind's eye. All right, yeah, you kind of look like a female version of the Michelin Man. You look like you are just puffy, girl. Right?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. All right.
Yeah,
Let's see if
that's a lot.
Let's see if we can drain that tub. Holy moly. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing the fluid out, both out of the bottom of your feet and up through the top of your head energetically. Okay. And let me see if I can see what's going on with that. All right. Lymph system. Yes, definitely. All right. I think you got enough going on, Dee, that it would make sense for us to talk on a private session for an hour so we can really do some reverse engineering and do a deep dive on what's going on. In the meantime, 2 things. Number 1, I want you to take all the medicines that you're on, all the names, and I want you to Google the name of the medicine, like Advil. I'm using that as an example. And then I want you to put in NNT, Nancy, Tom. And that stands for the number needed to treat. That is how many people need to take a medicine in order for it to help one person. The higher the number, the less effective the medicine.
Okay.
Also, you're going to see what all the side effects are with this. And these numbers are formulated from clinical studies that are done when drugs are being tested before the FDA approves them. I am an inventor and was a manufacturer of surgical devices that are sold throughout the world. And I had to do clinical studies with my inventions before the FDA would approve them as medical devices that could be used in surgery. So the higher the number, the less effective the medicine. I believe that a lot of this fluid retention is from your meds and the interaction of your meds with each other. So I think what you want to do is let's do some research. Google the name of the med, put NNT for number needed to treat at the end, and then make a list and put those numbers down. And then when you go talk to your doctors, you're going to be able to have an intelligent conversation with them about, hey, this medicine you have me on, the NNT on it's 312, which are really bad odds. You know, does this really make sense for me to be on this medication? And a lot of times,
should it be under?
What's a
good number?
You want it to be less than 20.
Okay.
You know, you would like it to be 1 in 10.
Yeah.
You know, you got a 10% chance of it helping you, because it's not worth taking if it's got that high of an NNT and it's got a bunch of side effects. And it's most likely interacting with, you're probably on several medications, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So do your research on that. Schedule a private appointment with me. We'll go through all of them when you have them. But in the meantime, I think you need to get that information. That's the biggest thing I can recommend.
Okay. Can you see anything about my body temperature? I always feel like I'm feverish. Is there a way to reset that with energy?
There is, but it's coming from your meds. I think a lot of these symptoms are coming from your meds. I think this is medicine related.
Okay.
Yeah. So do some research on that. What I'm doing is I just put anti-inflammatory energy on your system to help calm that down, but it's going to go back up because of your medication. You're having a reaction to all those meds that you're on. So we can go through a list of them one by one. So that's what I would suggest. Just go to AskJulieRyan.com and schedule a private 1-hour session, and we'll go through all of this. Okay? So I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thanks, Dee. Take care. Hope you feel better.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye. You bet. All right, everybody. We do this show every Thursday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-770-4160, and the access code is 533677#. Now, you can find this information a bunch of different places. My website, AskJulieRyan.com. If you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you'll see it there. Also, everywhere you download podcasts, we're in over 100 countries and on dozens of networks, and every download has a show notes section, and so this call-in information is there. Also, I post on social media, Instagram, and also Facebook. They're both at Ask Julie Ryan. So if you want to see if I'm doing a live show, which most weeks I am, but if you just want to check, go to Instagram, Ask Julie Ryan, and you'll see the day of the show. I'll have a call into the show, and same on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. And then I send out a blog each week, and that is a question that somebody has submitted online, and I answer it. And the call-in information is in the show notes as well. Also, when you're on my site, sign up for my blog and sign up for a private session, and then we'll have a whole hour to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And check out the Angelic Attendant Training class, too, while you're there. Okay, here's this week's question is from another Julie. Wow, lots of Julies tonight. This is from Julie, and this Julie lives in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And she says, "Hi, Julie. On 2 occasions and in 2 different states, my husband and I have seen large orange spheres of light in the sky. They move slowly, then disappear. Could you tell me what they were and why we saw them? Thank you." And here's my response. I thought this was a fun question. Don't you think this is a fun question? But here's my response. "Hi, Julie. On first hearing your question, I thought you might have seen what most people refer to as a UFO, which is an unidentified flying object, usually thought to be a spaceship from another planet. When I did a replay of what you saw by energetically connecting to you, I could see, in my mind's eye, the orange-colored orbs you mentioned. I don't believe they were UFOs. Rather, I believe they were some sort of test being done by a private company. versus a governmental agency like a military or something. This was a private company is what I was getting. I went on to say I got, meaning I received information, that these tests involved a delivery system being developed that could be used for commercial space commerce or even a weapons system. I also got the orange orbs you saw were not necessarily the results of a nearby test site, but instead originated from a distant locale. An analogy would be how a shooting star can be seen by people in many states or even countries. Similar sightings have been seen in the Siberian region of Russia. They turned out to be anti-ballistic missile tests and were confirmed by Russia's defense ministry. In addition, Jonathan McDowell, an astrophysicist at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, said of the Siberian phenomena, these were indeed missile tests, and went on to say 4 ballistic missiles were launched and at least one of them was widely observed. And that was in conjunction, obviously, with these sightings. As for the orange color you described, I believe it had more to do with the atmospheric conditions at the time than the actual color of the orbs. Cornell University says when light passes through the Earth's atmosphere, it scatters off on particles in the latter. It turns out that these particles like to scatter blue light more than they do red light, so bluer photons, those with shorter wavelengths, tend to get scattered, and redder photons, those with longer wavelengths, pass through, end quote. The color orange is a derivative of the color red. That's what I got. You know, orange is like on the color wheel with red. And then I closed with, hope this information answers your question. I imagine it must have been fun and perhaps even a bit unnerving to have seen those orange orbs, and twice at that. Stay curious. It makes life so much more interesting. Couple of thoughts. First of all, on this commercial space commerce, this is a huge, huge, huge new industry, you guys. I went to a symposium last fall at the University of Alabama, Huntsville, which is a couple of hours from me, and that's where they train rocket scientists, and NASA has a huge presence in Huntsville. That's where the Apollo program was developed. That's where the International Space Station is developed. That's where rockets are developed. All of that's done in Huntsville. And they had a guy who was head of space commerce from the Department of Commerce there, and it was a whole day of all these bigwigs and how they're developing all this stuff for space commerce. So stay tuned. That's a huge new industry. The other thing I wanted to mention was I do believe in UFOs. I do believe that there are other planets that are inhabited with beings. I've seen them in scans, even past life scans, that I believe are perhaps even more developed than Earth and than those of us. And I think you think of all the millions of galaxies, who would think that they wouldn't have the possibility for an Earth-type atmosphere and ecosystem where life could live? So with that, I thought that was a great question, Julie. Thank you for submitting it, and let us know if you see any more orange orbs in the sky. I thought that was just terrific. Okay, let's go back to the phones and see who's next. I believe our next caller is Ann. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Julie. Thanks for taking my call again. First, I'd like to say that I just finished your book, and I absolutely loved it. My husband finished it also, and I will admit that I got it from my sister, and now I passed it today to my daughter. And,
wonderful.
Wonderful book, and I love you even more after reading that book.
Oh, thank you. I love you back.
Well, thank you.
Would you leave an Amazon review for me on that book, Ann? It's Angelic Attendance, everybody. It's called
I did
Angelic.
Share it on my I'm sorry to interrupt. I did share it on my Facebook page. You know, I took a picture of the book and posted it and recommended that, you know, so I did share it there. But, yes, I'll be happy to leave an Amazon review. And,
thank you. Thank you. Like me on
welcome.
Facebook, you know, or send me a friend request at Ask Julie Ryan, and then I can share it. That would be fun. And anybody listening, you know, send me a friend request for Ask Julie Ryan, and I'll link up with you, and then also follow me at Ask Julie Ryan on Instagram. So that'll be fun. Well, Miss Ann, where are you calling in from this evening?
I am calling in from Lexington, South Carolina.
Okay.
And the main reason for this call is, can you please tell me what is going on with my back? And it's not pain, but this has been driving me crazy for about 6 weeks. I have this tingling sensation in my back, and it's almost like an itch, but there's nothing there, and it's driving me crazy. And I'm not on any medication, so I can't say it's any drug reaction or anything like that. But
it's a food allergy. It's food. That's a food allergy. So I would, again, email me, julie@askjulieryan.com. I'm going to send you a link for this gut biome test. And the best thing is to let's just cut to the chase. Let's find out what your superfoods are. Let's find out what foods it makes sense for you to avoid. That's going to go away. In the meantime, I've put anti-inflammatory energy on you to calm down that inflammation. That's what the itching's from.
But
that's
so you're sure it's not, because I was suspecting, would it be, you're positive it's not shingles?
No.
Even though I don't have a rash?
No.
It's not shingles?
It's not. No, it's a food allergy.
Okay.
It's a food allergy,
okay.
I believe. So let's figure out what it is. And, we can just guess, but why? Let's just see what's going on with your gut biome. Let's see. That's where our immune systems are based. Let's see what foods are your superfoods. Let's see what foods for you to avoid. And that doesn't mean you have to avoid them for the rest of your life. Now, Twinkies may be on that list, or, Twinkies may be something that they want you to avoid for the rest of your life. But they do have a shelf life of about 50 years or something, I think. But I'm being funny. I'm being facetious here. A lot of times,
preservatives, I believe that. They probably do have a shelf life of 50 years.
Right. So let's just do that. Shoot me an email, julie@askjulieryan.com, and I'll send you that link for 50% off. You don't need a prescription. You can just do it on your own. Hi, Ellie. I'm going to mute you, and I'll come back. And then we'll know what's going on. But that's what's happening.
And Julie, should I give up on trying to sell my home?
Is it in Ann's best interest to sell at this moment in time to sell her home? I get a no. I get a no. But it's gone back and forth, hasn't it?
Well, I had accepted a contingent offer, which the other people did. They had 30 days, and they did nothing to try to sell their house. Wouldn't lower the price at all, and I just felt like, well, we had just had to give and give and give, and I'm just sort of burned out, even burned out with realtors.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I don't think you can make a mistake one way or the other. I think whatever feels good, do it.
Okay.
Pay attention. Pay attention to how it feels. The thought of selling it, how does that feel? The thought of staying there, how does that feel? And that can change. There are lots of variables that can change it. But you had a mold issue, right, in your home?
No.
Okay. All right. I thought you did, but
no.
you're just wanting to move.
I just want to downsize. My house is huge.
Downsize. Right. Yeah. Okay.
And I did find another one, and I did find a house, and I put an offer in, but when, so of course I'm trying to sell mine, but it was on the market for 60 days, and I got an offer, a contingency, and then, like I said, then once there's a contingency, then your house is not active on the market, and then nobody looks. And then I think these people were pretty difficult to deal with, and I really don't want to deal with them. And they lowered their house, and their house was almost $500,000. They lowered it $4 and then $7, and everybody thought it was a joke, but that's really the truth.
Wow. All right. Well, keep us posted with what happens.
Okay, I will,
okay.
Julie.
Thanks, Ann. Appreciate you calling in. You bet.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All righty. Let's see who's next. I believe it's Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Nancy, are you still there?
I'm sorry, I had it on
Hi.
mute. Hi.
Here you are. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm all over the map.
Okay. Well, tell everybody where you are on the map right now.
I'm in
where are you calling from?
Massachusetts.
Okay. All right. Well, you got a question for me?
Well, I sort of. I have a lot of different things going on. I have a lot of health issues, and I'm curious about guardian angels. And I always seem to get like a panicky thing, and I call up the person I'm panicked about to find out what's wrong. And there usually is something that they were concerned about and happy that I called them. But I never ever seem to get the sense that there's ever a guardian angel around me. And it would be nice if there were, because I'm feeling left out of the system.
There is. Our guardian angels are always with us. And you know where I see them the most, Nancy, is when somebody's having surgery. They hover over the head of anesthesia, over where the patient's head is up near the anesthesiologist or the CRNA, if it's a nurse anesthetist. And a guardian angel is always there. Always, always, always. So our guardian angels are always with us, with the same angel, I believe, with each of our lifetimes, which is kind of cool.
Because I never have any sense of remembering. I used to remember dreams all the time. I used to have wacky dreams and remember them. And ever since, I'd say the last 15 years, if I have a dream, period, it's very unusual. And I have no recollection of when I'm asleep or anything happening. And it's very, I don't know, I find that more disquieting than weird dreams. I'd rather have weird dreams.
Well, what you can do is before you go to sleep at night, say to yourself, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to remember my dream. And you'll be surprised at how that helps you remember your dream. It's just that simple. Just, tell yourself when you go to bed. I do that especially if I have an early flight to catch and I have to get up at some crazy hour. I'll set my alarm, but then I'll say, I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm going to be totally well rested and refreshed. And I do. It's just magical how it works. You tell your brain what you want it to do, and it'll go there. Do you have a quick question for me?
Well, I feel fine some of the times, and then all of a sudden I just feel exhausted. And doesn't appear to be one specific thing that's making me tired all the time, but I just feel so tired sometimes. And it's I have a lot of different health things going on, but they don't really scare me because I guess it's not that I don't take them seriously. It's just that I'm the one that's had to solve a lot of the issues. I've had a weird stomach issue, and every time I would end up at the emergency room with my blood pressure 200 over 100 and throwing up and white as a ghost and saying the only thing that helps is a certain drug, and they'd look at me like, oh, yeah, you're just here for drugs. And not really. I'm in agony. And and I've seemed to have solved that by simply not eating and drinking something cold at the same time, believe it or not. And also, so I just feel like I've solved a lot of my little weird quirky things, but I just don't understand why I'm so tired. And I thought I was anemic, and they keep saying my blood tests keep coming back fine. I don't know how much I believe in blood tests anymore.
Couple of things are coming to mind right now, Nancy. First one is what I was talking with Dee about from Washington, D.C. Google your medications and Google the NNT afterwards. You heard that conversation. See what the NNT is. See what the never needed to treat is. I believe that your medications are having something to do with you feeling tired. That's number one. And number two, email me, julie@askjulieryan.com. I'll send you the link for that gut biome test. Let's see what foods are the best foods for you to eat and which foods are the best for you to avoid. And some of the foods that may come up for you to avoid may surprise you, because they're foods that oftentimes we think are healthy, and they're just not healthy for us with our gut biome. So I would do those two things. Email me and do the NNT search on all your medications and see what those numbers are and see what the side effects are. I get you're over-medicated. And again, like D, the interaction of your medications is not favorable for you. So I hope that helps.
Yep,
okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Thank
Take
you.
Take care. You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Our next caller, Sadie. Hi, Sadie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Good. I'm so excited I got in.
Yes, you did. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Redding, California.
Okay, terrific. You got a question for me?
I do. I have a similar question as one of the callers about an addiction issue.
Yeah.
I had drank for quite a while. I quit drinking about 7 years ago. I quit smoking about 10 years ago. And then I recently started smoking pot. And I had been stressed out at work. And so I'm like, well, am I self-medicating or is it just that then it feels like the addiction back? And I didn't know if some kind of trauma is causing that.
I think it's just the addiction part of you that's
is there an
being
easy way
engaged.
to rewire my brain?
Yeah, I think there is. I think, first of all, stop smoking pot. That's the easiest thing. Is, I mean, that's like the obvious part. And incidentally, it is disturbing to me, all these places that are legalizing marijuana, because it causes brain changes and in a lot of instances brain damage. It messes up your cognitive skills. If you Google Amen clinics, like Amen, Hallelujah, the end of a prayer, AMEN, Google Amen, Google Dr. Amen, you Google brains that don't that don't use marijuana, brains that do use marijuana, you'll see the brain deterioration that comes with using marijuana. It's frightening. It's frightening. So do that, because you need to know that, first of all. And secondly, like any addiction, got to stay away from it. So go, come up with a substitute. Take a walk, listen to music, meditate, do breathing, that kind of stuff. But it's just, addicts will just change whatever the substance is. So the best thing to do is avoid the substance. Like for me, it's sugar. I just have to avoid it. Yeah, I couldn't control it. And I thought, what the heck? I've been trying to control it my whole life. I just need to give it up. And it's been a remarkable change in my health. And I was healthy to begin with, but remarkable when I gave it up. And I was out to dinner last night. These desserts were amazing at this restaurant that we went to, and everybody's passing around. I just kept passing it. I was like, I can't do there. It's a slippery slope. So same thing with the pot. It's just your addiction gene coming in.
So
you're changing the substance.
So for decompressing and stress relief from work, you think just walking and...
Yeah, walking, meditation, that kind of thing. Do you have a meditation tape that you like to listen to?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, listen to that. Plug that in. Delay, even if you can delay a minute or two. You know this from your addiction days. If you can delay a minute or two, do that. Do what I was talking about with Rob from Virginia. If I don't smoke pot, is it going to kill me? Well, no. You're going to laugh. And that's going to be it's a disruptor. It disrupts that addiction cycle, that thought. And then you go, okay, well, what's going to benefit me? Go for a walk, get on the bike, get a mini trampoline, jump on that, do a meditation. There's a bazillion things. Read a book. It's distract and disrupt. Disrupt that line of thinking. And don't have it around. That's the other thing. If it's not around and it's not easy, then it's not going to be as much of a pull for you. So I hope that helps. Okay? Yes, remember what I told Rob. Ask yourself, okay, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? If it is, change the situation. Get out of the middle of the street because that trick is coming towards you. If it's not, you're going to laugh. You're going to raise your vibrational level. Switch it. And then that'll become a habit, Sadie, where, you have a negative thought, you make yourself laugh, you switch it, you go to a positive thought. You're going to see how easy it is to change that and make it become a habit. So I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you.
Okay, you bet. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, let's go to Ollie next. Hi, Ollie. Hi, Ollie.
Hello?
Right there.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Well, nice to meet you. This is my first time doing, so I'm not sure. I'm kind of nervous.
Well, we got less than 2 minutes for you to be nervous.
Okay.
So where are you calling from, first of all?
I'm calling from Reno, Nevada.
All right, and you got a quick question for me?
Yes, I'm just having a lot of problems in my life right now, but maybe just quick 2 questions. I'll probably call back for the other ones later. First is I've had my grandmother pass away, my mother, my father, and I feel very guilty for not being able to say goodbye. And I just wanted to know if they're okay, if they're there,
they're great.
If they're watching me.
They're fabulous. They're with you all the time. And we all decide when we go, where we go, who's with us when we go, all the circumstances. So they decided all of that. They're with you all the time. You can talk to them at any moment. Just say something to them, and you're going to get a thought. It's going to come in within a second. That's going to be them answering you. And call back in next week because I got to run because we're out of time. Honey, they are with you. I promise they're in heaven. Get my book, Angelic Attendance. It'll make you feel better when you read it. Okay?
Okay. I will call back next week.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for answering that.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, everybody, we are out of time. But as usual, this has been a ball, and I hope you all have a terrific weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Send your questions in online. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Ask Julie Ryan. Check out my class, Angelic Attendance. If you feel led, sign up, join the fun, and it will change your life in amazing ways. And until next week, take care. Bye, everybody.